Life Hacks Beyond Convention with Dee and Sonia.
I loved learning at school. I really enjoyed that aspect of school, but there's not very much else about school I enjoyed. I enjoyed
Mm.
electives week
Mm.
when we get to do all these fun things. I went to water
Yeah.
ski at school.
Oh, wow.
I know, that was the most fun ever.
At
And it's
school.
actually,
Wow.
yeah, and I could actually stand on these water skis. So that was fun. I got to do that a few times,
Yeah.
which
That's
was
a
good.
pretty cool one.
Oh yeah, that was so good.
We
And then
did
I
copper
always remember, because
jewelry.
the big thing I learned is don't bend your elbows. Like,
Mm.
don't bend your
Yep.
elbows. And so I actually always had sort of reasonable balance as well. But
Yeah.
then I remember mum and dad had some friends that had a ski boat, and we went in Port Pirie over the bridge to nowhere
Yep.
over that side, and they'd do it up and down. And I can remember they let me have a go, and I was actually able to get up. And some
Oh,
of the
wow.
adults couldn't get up, and it's like because they keep
Mm.
bending their elbows. Because you
Yeah.
feel like you
Mm.
have to bend your elbows to bring yourself up, whereas
Yeah.
you've got to keep them straight so that the boat's doing all the hard work. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that was fun at school, and I learnt to do canoeing and
Wow.
yeah, in our electives weeks, I
Mm.
did photography. That was you know how you were talking about your little brownie camera?
Yep.
Yeah. So one of the things we did in the photography, we didn't have brownie cameras, but the same principle, like we actually made our own cameras out of cardboard boxes and had the film in there, like the pin, did the pin,
Yeah.
and we go back and develop them. So that was at school as well. So
Yeah. Wow.
yeah.
That sounds cool. I didn't
Yeah.
do
So they were
anything
just
as
called
exciting as
electives
that at
week.
school. Mm.
Yeah, and you had to, like, because some of the things were more popular than others, and if you'd already done it, you if there were too many people, then if you'd already done it before, then of course you're the one that didn't get
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do it. But so they'd give us the timetable of what activities were available, and you'd just sort of put your name down, and then they'd
Mm.
let you know which ones you got into.
Yeah.
And it would be a
Mm.
whole week. And it must have been
Yeah.
at least a couple of times a year. I don't know. I
Yeah.
doubt it was every term. That would have been like a school wouldn't be able to afford that. But I'm
Yep.
sure it's at least once or twice a year, unless it was only once a year. I don't know.
Mm. Yeah. We didn't have a week at Walford. I think we had like smatterings, a day here and a day there. But I think the only one I remember is copper jewelry. But yeah,
Yeah,
there
well,
wasn't a
fancy
lot
being
of,
able to do darn water skiing. Like, that's
yeah,
pretty
that
fun.
blows me. I'd have been in on that
Yeah.
in a
Not
heartbeat.
like I was really lucky because mum and dad did, because they cost, like you'd have to
Mm.
pay. So some of the electives would be at the school. So you could go and do netball or tennis or
Mm.
whatnot. And I guess it was the teachers that ran those. Uh,
Yep.
so they could be free. So a lot of the
Mm.
electives were free, but a lot of them,
Mhm.
like the water skiing and things like that, there
Ah,
was a cost. So
that would answer a lot of questions,
yeah,
aside from my parents not being willing to take me to things, because that would cost and time. Yeah, they never spent an extra cent on anything. So there probably were things, but I just was not, yeah, I
not
didn't get to do
able to
anything.
do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, whereas
Mm.
mum and dad were really good. And one year, because we always had camps as well, and there was 2 years in a row that I got to go on the snow trip.
Yeah. Well, there were
Yeah, which
camps,
was
but I
really
never got to go
huge.
to those.
Because I
Yeah.
know, like, they weren't heaps cheap. Now, the schools did get discounts
Mm.
on, I don't know, accommodation and different things like that. So compared to us going as a family on a snow trip, it was cheap.
Mm.
But but yeah,
Mm.
and I know, like, mum and dad weren't wealthy or anything. They just
Yeah.
prioritised things like that for us. And
Mm.
we weren't all able to do everything every year. Do you know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, alcohol and cigarettes were prioritised in my family. So,
Oh, okay,
and
yeah.
children were, yeah, It's their money, not our money, so to speak. So, yeah, there was a very different thinking who gets the goodies. So,
Mm.
and it's been interesting because raising kids and stuff like that, you see other families that, yeah, I remember one family that the adults got the Tim Tams and the kids got the Jats. And I never
Oh,
understood
okay.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I was
Um,
aware of families that did that, but my parents never did that. So,
yeah.
like, either we all were able to have it or none of us were able to have it.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
mum and dad would never have bought out Tim. Now, they would have had Tim Tams, but not while the kids were around. Do you know what I mean? So, if they did
Yeah.
have the treats, they'd wait till we were all in bed or
Bed
something
or
like that.
something. Yeah.
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 But,
Mm.
but there's no way if there was a whole bunch of friends coming over that they'd have
Mm.
just the adult stuff versus just
Yeah.
and stuff.
Mm.
The
Yeah.
reality was, though, some of the things that they had there, they'd get specifically thinking that's what the children would prefer.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
kids didn't always want some of that
Yeah.
fancy stuff. We
Yeah.
liked fairy bread.
Oh, I would, if I could eat bread and sugar, I would have the fairy bread. Oh, I watched one of those American looking at the Australian foods thing, and even he'd tried it, and he said, "Oh, I like the fairy bread." So,
Yeah. Yeah, so
um,
fairy bread has got to be on soft white bread is the
yeah,
best.
yeah,
Then a layer of
thick
butter or
butter,
margarine, and then the
butter.
sprinkles that go on the
Yeah,
top, hundreds
I
of
don't know what the
thousands.
Americans call the sprinkles. We call them hundreds of thousands.
Mm.
I don't know what the Americans call them. If
I
there's
don't know
another
either.
name.
I can remember
Mm.
things like that would always be there for us. So, and often
Yeah.
that's what, as kids, we'd rather have the fairy bread than,
Yes. Yeah.
yeah, some of those
And once again, every family is different. Neighbours' kids in my era, they got bought biscuits. We never had bought biscuits. Mum made cakes. So yeah, we go to their place one day and my place the next day after school and share it round. So
My mum
yeah.
was the same actually. We didn't have a lot of bought biscuits either
Mm,
because mum made a lot of homemade biscuits and homemade
mm,
cakes. And there were two reasons, like I know that now because I've talked to her as an adult.
yeah.
At the time as a kid, I didn't even think about it. There was just always stuff there. But it was a heap cheaper to make
Yeah.
your own biscuits
So much
and
cheaper.
cakes and
Mm,
also healthier. Like mum would
yeah.
make a little bit less sugar or
Mm,
use different flour, some of the more
yeah.
wholemeal flour mixed in, just different
Yeah.
things like that to try and make it a bit healthier.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it was a
Mm,
double whammy.
yeah. And we
Yeah,
never
I
had
was
soft
lucky.
drink.
Pardon?
We never had soft drink. Like I first tried soft drink when I went to a cousin's place and they used to buy crates of it.
Mm,
Like that was their thing, is the soft
mm.
drink. Whereas, yeah, we had Bobo cordial, which mum made. Like you get
Yeah,
a
yeah, I can
small bottle of
remember some of
flavouring
the
and you'd,
Bobo cordials.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
we always had soft drink for birthdays and
mm,
Christmas and special occasions, but not a lot during um, outside of those events. Like if
mm,
there was a big, I don't know, because sometimes you'd have friends over because they'd have a
mm,
party or something, or we'd always have
mm,
soft drinks then, but not
yeah.
just every day.
Mm, yeah.
And even then, I've never been a big like soft drink drinker. As a kid, I
Mm,
would rather have water.
yeah.
So that was
We
lucky,
lived
wasn't it?
on Well, we lived on cordial, so I was used to this high sugar stuff all the time.
Mm.
So when I changed to water a while back, it took me probably 3 years to really get into the groove of it.
Mm.
But it's living with other people who drank a lot of soft drinks that when I started drinking them more. So yeah, but now
It's
they're a
really
treat.
interesting. I think that's just how like each human is made a bit different because I've never been a big soft drink drinker or cordial drinker now, which isn't to say I don't ever drink cordial or soft drinks because I sometimes do, but not on an everyday basis, not even an every week basis.
Yeah,
But like one of my daughters, she only will drink soft drink and cordial, and yet she wasn't raised like that. Like we
yeah,
had a lot of water when they were
mm,
kids, or sometimes fruit juices.
Yeah.
and occasionally soft drink or cordial. It's not like they were never allowed to have it.
Yeah.
So, but as an adult, she always has. She just does not like water
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
all.
And
Just
that's what
does
I
not
was
like it.
like. Mm. And it's you just got
Yeah.
to change your habits. I drink this little drink here. It has it's not really got an orangey flavour, but it's a nutrient drink. So it's got a whole heap of amino acids in it. So
Mm,
that's my it's not got any sugar in it or anything.
mm.
That's my flavoured thing. And then I'll drink sparkling mineral water. Yeah. Mm.
Well, I found it really hard to drink once when I moved here to Ballarat because we didn't have rainwater, which is what I'd always had. And
Mm.
the tap water just tastes so disgusting. But
Mm.
what I got recently was one of those pottery drip filter things. And
Yeah.
so I've got the Dalton filter that
Mm.
is for the fluoridated water that you put in your
Mm.
top. And the water's really nice through that.
Yeah, we've got one which we haven't been using because I got lazy and started using boxed water. But you can't use them with rainwater because they get green and algae like stuff on them. So you can only use them. So you use them to get the chemicals out, but the chemicals are what protect it from getting yeah, green and funny. So I should start using that again. I might do that. Thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, well, I've just been really enjoying my water again because I did
Mm,
try one of the filters, like you know how you get those Brita filters just from
yeah.
all of the department stores and the supermarkets these days. That
Mm,
never, they
didn't
did, nah,
no. Okay.
they didn't help
Mm,
a great deal. But
yeah.
the Dalton filter
Mm,
is
did.
really good and it really does
Okay.
filter out a lot of the stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, and the water. So now I've got a water bottle. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, my water bottle.
Mm.
mm, full of
Yeah.
filtered water.
I
And
know
I'm
you're not supposed to
drinking.
reuse these, but I do. The
Oh,
plastic
yeah, I
bottles.
used to too. Well, because
Mm,
for years, that's what I'd have is I'd buy bottled water because
yeah.
I just could not make myself drink the tap
Tap
water.
water.
It tasted
Mm,
so disgusting. I'd have it in
yeah.
tea or coffee,
Yeah.
and sometimes I'd go through a patch of cordial to disguise
Yeah.
the taste.
I
Mm.
think I wonder how much boiling helps it. Like if you boil a
I
kettle and
tried
then
that. I tried boiling
didn't
it and letting
work.
it cool. Yeah, that improved it a little bit.
Okay. A
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah. Oh
But I've
dear.
just really struggled to drink enough water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, we know we're supposed to, but I find that water, and it could be because of medications and because I'm old, um, and I'm on the tablets type thing, my mouth gets too dry, and sometimes plain water doesn't quench the thirst.
Mm,
And that's when I want the aerated stuff. So
mm,
I'm happy with soda water or spring water, but the
mm,
bubbles seem to just feel better. And yeah,
mm,
so,
mm.
and in between that, I drink too much coffee, 2 or 3 cups a day. So I probably need to cut that back.
Yeah, I've been on about 3 cups a day too. Not full full caffeine though. Usually I have my drip filter and I do half
Oh,
caffeine,
yes.
half decaf. So
Yeah, that's a
that
good idea.
that's that's how I justify my three to
Yep.
myself. It's really only one and a half.
Oh, dear. I love it.
So yeah.
Ways and means to accommodate the changes you need. See, that's thinking outside the square again. Oh,
I
dear.
don't know. I think at the end of the day, some of these things that we worry about are just probably just not even worth worrying about in the scheme of things.
Mm, true, true.
Yeah, it's like, does it really matter? Does it even matter if we're addicted to coffee?
Yeah. I think with the soft drink, when I was drinking a lot of Coke, that makes you want sugary food, even
Oh,
the
okay.
aspartame. Yeah, even the Diet Coke. So
Mm,
that's what I picked up was that it was causing me issues in other areas of
mm,
consuming. And
mm,
so I went, no, I can, get off that if it's going to
mm,
do that. And yesterday I had sugar, and I hadn't had sugar for a long time. There's a tiny bit in my coffees, but um, I had this raspberry and white chocolate muffin with cream, and it was just divine.
mm,
But last night I felt really shaky. It was really
mm,
strange. And I actually had to go and eat something sugary because I'd spiked my sugar so high when it dropped, it went too
mm,
low.
mm,
And and I thought, oh, okay, I have to remember that
mm,
that happens next time so
mm,
that I make different choices. Yeah.
mm. Well, and
So,
our bodies do get used to not having some of those things, don't they?
yes,
That's with
yeah.
me. If I have any milk
Mm.
these days, it actually
Oh,
makes me feel really quite ill.
yeah. Mm,
Yeah. I
yeah.
haven't had cow's milk for I don't even know how many years, a long time.
Yeah. The, you'd probably be fine on raw milk because the pasteurization is what changes it from lactase to lactose, changes the sugar, and it's the lactose that most people are allergic to. And
Right, yeah.
yeah, so it's an
Yeah, well,
actual
I never
chemical.
used to have any problems with it at all.
Mm,
Like, I used to drink milk until I decided
mm,
I just wasn't going to have animal products anymore. And
mm,
then, yeah, but I
mm.
can tell if somebody's given me a coffee with the wrong milk in it.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Yeah, it
Mm.
makes me just feel ill.
Yuck. Yeah, you can pick it up immediately. Wow. Mm,
Yeah, yeah,
mm.
yeah. It really, yeah. So I think
Yeah.
so. Our bodies definitely get used to what we give it.
Yes, yeah. I was told something was gluten free recently, and I got it in my mouth, and I just went, I don't think so. Yeah, and I
Mm,
can't, and there's no way I could really taste it, but so it would have been texture, I imagine. Yeah.
mm,
Mm.
mm.
So annoying when it's um, a business that's done it. Just,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So,
That's all right. One of somebody I know recently went down there. Where did she say they were? Oh, Maryborough, so a little town
yep.
in Victoria. And they went into a cafe, and she sent me a message. It's like, I've never been in a cafe where the only milk they've got is alternative milk. There's no real milk.
Oh, okay.
I've
Wow.
never ever been in a cafe that's done that.
So is that a vegan cafe then, or?
Oh, I didn't ask that question.
Yeah. The
I
cafe we
don't.
went
From
to.
what?
Mm,
Who knows? I didn't even think to ask the question. Is it what about the food or that? It was just like, whoa,
yeah.
okay, just
Yeah.
unusual. Yeah,
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
to have a cafe
The
that doesn't. I mean, because years ago, the only option really was soy, like
mm,
it was either cow's milk or soy milk. But over the last probably 8 to 10 years, that's changed. And now it doesn't, pretty much wherever you go, they've all got soy, almond, and oat
yeah.
lactose free. So there's,
Yes.
as well as normal milk, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yeah.
some of them have, even might have some of the other specialty ones, though they're a lot rarer.
Yeah. Well, the little cafe we were at, and I've never seen this, had glass bottles, and you fill the glass bottle from this big tank thing, like
Oh, okay.
refrigerated tank. So it's like in a pub, it's got a curved tap, and you
Oh,
can buy your bottle, and then you fill it with a litre of either lactose free or normal milk. Yeah, not full fat milk, and then you take your bottle home, and you can bring your bottle back and just fill it up for the milk price. Yeah, and I'd never seen that. So
no, not
yeah.
me either. No, I've never seen that. Where did you say
Mm.
that was? In
That was
Tanunda?
in Tanunda. Yeah.
Little towns?
Different. Well,
Yeah.
I guess it's the Barossa Valley, so
A
Tanunda's
little
so
bit
close
yuppie,
to
isn't it?
everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit yuppie, and there's a huge population surrounding it in the other
Mm.
towns. They're
And
all
a
so
lot
close.
of holiday makers, like a lot of tourism
Yes.
through there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means they're
Massive
catering
amount.
to a whole lot of different tastes.
No good for me because I really don't drink milk anymore. I drink cream. So like if I have a coffee, I have
Wow.
it with cream. Yeah, higher
Yeah.
fat and lower in sugar.